Hey everyone, welcome back. I've missed out on I think 3.5 weeks. I didn't make a video. There's been a lot going on in the shop today. In the last few weeks, and my personal life as well. I quite didn't get a chance to do anything. Just tuned, and I didn't really bother with making any videos. But we're back here today at Blueprint, and we are tuning Marko's car today. I'm really excited about this project. This is a right-hand drive SC300 1JZ with the 6165 and a ECU Master Classic ECU. Alex, very soon, coming up. All right, so we're tuning Marko's car today. As you remember, this car we were talking about, aka Project Nightmare. I wanted to call it Chupacabra, but he said no. But this is a really good looking car. I like the wheel setup. It looks really good. It's mean. I remember we tuned this car before. He had whatever setup he had before. It was slipping on the dyno. We made like 7 something. So the setup on this is Blueprint spec High Compression 2.0, darton sleeve, S3 cams, oversized valves, GTR coils, and we got the 6870 T4 twisnscroll and a 4-inch, 5-inch intercooler or something like that, ID 2000s, and we're using a 4-inch intake, vent to atmosphere. We're gonna work the shield out properly, and we're gonna start with this car's been broken in, drove 1,000 miles and whatnot. It's been broken in. We're gonna start with X98 first. So we are gonna do flex fuel, but this flex fuel is not gonna get a 93 tune. We're gonna get X98, and I think the lowest I'm recommending is 30 psi. 30 percentage. So you'll have to keep it above 30. So yep, we're gonna start with X98. The interior is good, but this is literally like a he's gonna beat the hell out of this car, so he doesn't really care. We got dual Warble 450s in the back. The gauges, we just put it in just for the tuning, but we're gonna actually, set it. Let me ask you, what's the history of this car in your perspective? We already know what it is. It's awesome to get like guys who build cars, race them, to get their perspective, because as a shop or tuner, we don't see what you're going through. We hear about it, but we really don't feel like what it feels like unless you were a customer, which I was, so I know. So tell me a little bit about the history of the car. Where did you find it, first of all? Dealer?
Yeah, I bought it at a dealer. I was looking for a car, and then I came across this one, and they had just uploaded it on their website.
Oh.
And I was like, everything about it was like, I like it. It was all black and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I went to check it out, and it was advertised as 620 horsepower.
Okay.
So
what kind of turbo did it have?
It had a Borg Warner. I think it was.
Oh yeah, that's capable.
Yeah,
it's capable.
And I guess it was already kind of built. And so then I went and checked it out, turned it on, sounded good, and then I just bought it right away. Like I just kind of mistakes, but.
Well, I don't think buying it was a mistake. From what I know and what I've seen, probably if you just done a couple of things, like had a shop assess what's going on before you put the power on, you still would have been on the original block, And again, nothing was wrong with the head gasket blew. We could have just changed it, But you decided to build, really build the motor. Well, that's good. That's good. What's your expectations?
As of now, just for it to, boost fine. You
Yeah.
know, drive fine. Like, I mean, it's been down for like 2 years. So
You made 770 before. What power would you be happy with today? Happy.
in between 850 and 900.
Okay, that's reasonable. Yeah, that's reasonable. Let's see. You think we can get that, Mo? Yeah. All right, we'll see. We'll see. Again, beautiful car. We'll see what happens. Now, I really like the name Chupacabra. It's a monster, right? You know, like that elusive shit. But we'll call it Nightmare. It's pretty good. You got the purple thing anyway, right? The purple valve cover. All right. Cool.
Link engaged.
So on this base map, I made a little bit above 6. Numbers don't matter at this point. This is just generally a base map, and it's not supposed to produce power. Where I want is a reference point for my air, fuel, and boost. So we did put a tougher spring in it, and this is the minimum boost he'll be able to run, which is like 30 psi or something like that. But the AFR is rich, is 11 something, and because it's S3 cams, which is very large, especially for EVO 10s, it's you know, the throttle respawn on park throttle or when you go into sudden throttle change will affect these cams. So that is basically what I'm trying to tune as well, on top of getting the air fuel ratio and boost under control. So on this run, I actually adjusted the Mybec a little bit for throttle response and how the boost comes on. I cleaned up the AFR a little bit. It's still very rich, like 11.5, and we are running close to 90% ethanol. And I turned up the boost to 35, and I'm still running 93 octane timing, which basically means maybe 4 degrees at peak torque and 13 to 14 degrees up top. So the car is responding well. Those high compression pistons are really doing its job. So right now I made some adjustments. I turned up the boost to, well, aiming for 40 pounds. I adjusted the fuel as well, aiming also for mid 11s to low 11s for now. And this is not the complete boost that he will ultimately receive, but right now I'm doing this because he has the previous fuel system. The new fuel system we created is not in the car yet. That's going to be added over the winter time. So right now I just want to give him some good power from the street so he can just drive around.
Link engaged.
Slipping. Huh? Slipping. Slipped.
Oh, it slipped?
Couple times. So on this run, I actually turned up the boost to where I'm gonna do the rest of the tune at, which is 40 plus 42. But the car started slipping as soon as the boost went up from 35 to 40. The airfars are still running rich, but we have to solve now the slip issue. As you can see from this graph, the last one was in purple. The lighter purple is the torque. That big dip around 6,000 to 65 plus is where it was slipping. So on this run, we had massive backfires. As you can see from the graph, right after 7, the coils just didn't hold the boost that I was throwing at it. It makes sense. Typically on GTR coils on 10 or below 10 compression, I am able to run these dwell times, which is I think 3.5 to 3 up top. But we basically, because of the compression, it requires me to lower the coil charge time up top. So I did lower it. I brought it down to 2.5 by 8,000 by 7,000 RPMs, in between 7 and 9 actually. So I'm also going to re-gap the spark plugs from 22 to 20. And that should do the trick. And just for added measure, because we are losing grip on the dyno, I'm also going to throw Marko in the trunk. So this is a back-to-back run with the same tune, with only adjustments being re-gapping to a lower gap for the spark plugs and adjusting the coil dwell time for the high compression and higher boost. And we also threw Marko in the back to add weight to minimize the slip. And the car is doing better. It's holding. Also, I got a little scared from that sound, but as it turns out, it was the dyno brakes gripping onto the roller as I press the brakes on the dyno. So we're close to where we want to be. So I'm just going to add a degree or two to the timing, keeping everything same, and see where that gets us, and call it a day until we upgrade the fuel system and really go for power. So this is what we made on our final run. 800. Marko is very happy with that. Car feels really, really good. The torque curve is really, really good. It keeps up all the way to red line. He was going to hit 85 to 8,700 on the street, so that's what we ended the car with. We started with 600 something. We ended with 800. That's a good day. After ironing out all the kinks, the car runs really, really smooth. The park throttle, everything is good. The spool on a 6870, considering the headwork and the cams that we have, is surprisingly very fast. I actually added no high wastegate below 5,000 RPM at all, and it's really, really good. On the dyno, however, I couldn't hit it lower because of the slip, so I had to throttle it. But on the street, this thing really, really books. Again, the plan for this car is coming back in about a month or so and really adding the fuel system and going for big power. Thank you guys for watching and subscribing to my channel. All the love is much appreciated. Keep the questions coming. I just want to say, if you guys are watching this video and you're tuning your own cars, just be careful. And if you're tuning somebody else's car, especially be careful. This is just a little bit of what goes into tuning. Most of it is experience and knowing, you know, what symptoms mean what. That is basically, as I like to put it, get out of the computer's way, get out of the car's way. You're just solving problems, and power is just a byproduct of you solving all the problems. Well, thank you for watching. More to come, and thank you for subscribing as well.